when he's sitting at home and thinking, did I sell this good enough? Did I give a good enough performance this time? Or is this guy going to give a better performance, outshine me, and literally take my job?
Non-apologetic
Nonsense.
So the other day, I checked out a documentary of your favorite topic. That's right, 90s wrestling.
All right.
It got me thinking. Want to run this by you. I'm a little excited here, okay? So this documentary went through like when The Rock was coming in and they were changing his persona, okay? So Stone Cold's the top dog at this point and The Rock starts being the people's champ. So it's like, who's going to be the top dog, Stone Cold or The Rock? They had interviews and I started thinking past. I saw it through kid eyes last time I saw it, you know, like, oh, who's the bigger, badder, tougher guy? You know, like when that glass would hit from Stone Cold, I was like, man, he's really going to come down there and come up. You know, you don't mess with Rattlesnake, you know. But as an adult, you see it a little bit differently. So in this time period of this documentary, Stone Cold gets injured and has to take 10 months off. At this point, The Rock climbs his super stardom, right, and becomes the guy. I started thinking about what they must feel. You got Stone Cold and The Rock, and before Stone Cold gets injured, they're doing their matches together. And of course, everything's pre-planned, but it's pre-planned based off of your performance. So I wonder if, like, Rock comes in, Stone Cold has to feel a bit threatened. Like, screw the promos. I'm talking about when he's sitting at home. You know,
right.
And thinking, did I sell this good enough? Did I give a good enough performance this time? Or is this guy going to give a better performance and outshine me and literally take my job? So it adds, if you think about it like that, it adds a whole new element to it. Because you have all the fake stuff, all the soap opera, but then you have a real man trying to give a real performance and someone else who's really coming up the ranks who could really take your job and you essentially get fired or demoted, you know?
Yeah.
I thought maybe, what did you think about that? Like, do you remember the Rock versus Stone Cold?
Oh, yeah. I still watch that shit today.
And then Stone Cold came back from the knee injury and he was interviewed saying, you know, I really didn't know if I'd be able to wrestle again, especially not at that level.
Yeah, see, he slept several times. This is the injury where they played it off where he got hit by the car. He was supposed to be in a triple threat match, and then it was like, come to find out it was that Rikishi guy that ran him over. He's like, I did it for The Rock.
I don't remember. It was something crazy. Like, I'm picturing, like, he gets hit by, like, a Zamboni machine or something.
I don't think he's ever been hit by a Zamboni. He's driven a couple to the ring.
Maybe that was what it was, but the injury was real. It wasn't like he went to go film a movie and needed time off. And they had interviews of Stone Cold from that time that were never released because at that point, you weren't allowed to break character.
Yeah, well, they call it K-Fab or whatever.
I've never heard that term in my life.
Yeah,
But it just makes me think everything's fake, but it isn't. You know what I'm saying? Because you still have to be out there. You still have to be able to take the bumps. You still have to be able to give it back. You have to be able to stay professional and not let what someone's doing get underneath your skin. And you have to really be able to do that performance or you actually lose your job. So when Stone Cold and The Rock are actually, like, let's say Stone Cold's back now and they're having their championship match and who's going to be the Wonder Boy of the company, you know, obviously that's a fake storyline, but it's a real storyline because it's two real people who are out there practicing and one of them is going to put on a better performance and that's the one that WWE is going to write into their fake script as the winner.
Yeah.
So it sort of just adds like a whole nother layer of wrestling that I never really noticed as a child.
And it depends on if you piss your boss off, too. I watched the thing the other day that what blew Stone Cold up was when he won that King in the Ring and he gave the Austin 316 says, I just whooped your ass. Mm-hmm. That whole Triple H was supposed to win that and be the face. Well, prior to that, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, those two, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, real close, the Click, whatnot. Well, yeah, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash were leaving for WCW. Well, at the end of a Raw episode prior to King of the Ring, off air, you know, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, were supposed to be in a feud with Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, they just finished the match. Well, at the end of the match, they all hugged and it's like, yeah, we're best buds. See you guys. Yeah, Vince McMahon didn't like that. So Triple H lost that spot of winning the King of the Ring.
So they went off script, and because of that, were punished in really in their place and possibly their payment that they made that month in real life.
Yep.
Yeah, see,
and
that's
Triple H, they would have
cool.
pushed him, put the belt on him, everything blew him up. He would have got ahead quicker than what he did. I mean, he still became one of the top guys. You know, married the boss's daughter too, and he runs the company pretty much now. But yeah, he would have been bigger a lot sooner.
See, I do often wonder
Had he not pissed
if
the boss off.
anyone has absolutely just taken it. Like, they weren't supposed to win the title, and then maybe they really hit the guy in the ring just spontaneously, and they take the pin where they weren't supposed to actually get it.
That's possible. I know they do, and shit like that happens. Ref's got an earpiece or whatnot. So Vince, whoever, well, not Vince anymore, but someone's back there calling shots, and if something like that happens, there's one I watched. It was Chris Jericho and this newer guy named Neville. Well, Neville, he jumped off the top rope, he ended up breaking his ankle or something. Mm-hmm. And Jericho noticed it. So he pushed the ref until the ref's like, you're disqualified. Like, what the hell? And kind of funny, that's why.
So someone told the rep, we're switching gears here because he's actually hurt. See, in the same documentary, maybe it was different. I think I only watched one, but they had a heavy emphasis on The Undertaker. And
he's like the top dog. They're like a locker room leader.
Well, The Undertaker early on when he was still like super corny.
Yeah.
With like the purple and the fucking
6-inch wide tie.
Apparently, he was supposed to lose some match, but he was newer to doing his pile driver. What do they call it? The
tombstone.
Gravedigger? Yeah, tombstone. And when he did it, he actually hit an old school wrestler wrong. And like actually messed him up. So they had to do an audible because that dude couldn't get up, where Undertaker just pinned him and won instead of him kicking out and winning the match. And this guy like tried to fight Undertaker afterwards, like in real life because of it. And it kind of ruined his career because I never heard of him after that. And I can't even remember his name right now.
That sounds like kind of what happened like in the Undertaker's debut. Was it Survivor Series?
It was super early. Like,
yeah, he dropped because he talked about it was his first time performing.
It was a big boy. Like, it was a big boy.
Coco Beware.
That's it.
Yeah, that was his debut.
Yeah.
First match in WWE.
And then Undertaker said that the first time he was to give that move to Hulk Hogan, Hulk's like, dude, I'm scared. I don't want.
Yeah, Hogan made a big deal. It's like, he dropped me on the chair. You can watch the video
hurt me,
over
brother.
and over. Yeah.
And then he took time off because of it, and then they rewatched it, and his head never hit.
No.
But that's another thing. Like, in a move like that, where obviously it's designed to hold yourself up, and then the knees hit, not the head.
Yeah.
But you got to think, in that position, if you're the guy taking that bump, you have no say or control now. Like, once you're up there, does this man do it right, or does he do it wrong and just end your career, you know? Have you seen freaking Ric Flair lately?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, what happened to him? He is a drunk psychopath.
Yeah, he's retired. You know, he had his last match, like, last year or something.
Did you see him on Kill Tony?
Uh-uh.
Oh, my God. So Ric Flair's running around telling everyone he's sober, right? Even to this day. But, like, he's got this reputation that he literally poos himself in bars. Like, this is a reputation across the country.
Really?
Where, like, he'll get too hammered and just drop a load in his britches. Anywho, so apparently Tony Hinchcliffe and whoever else and Ric Flair got all super hammered. And then they go on Kill Tony. And on this episode, they have the Legion of Skanks on there. So Louis J. Gomez, Big J. Okerson. And Ric Flair's too hammered. He doesn't understand what the show is. So when Ric Flair sees that they're making fun of comedians, Ric Flair he stops the show and he's hammered. He's like, I need to tell you guys, I'm not making fun of people. You got to bring the people. Is this what you're going to do? Then I'm going to leave. And Louis J. Gomez is like, shut the fuck up. And so Ric Flair winds up leaving, and all the comedians start making fun of him. They're just, there he goes, woo! And, you know. But yeah, every time I see him now in anything, he is just super hammered. And if you read the comments, like every person will be like, no, he's sober. He's done told us he's 12 years, and it's like, nah, from everything I heard from that dude, like if you ever heard about that weird plane ride where he was like
waggling his dick around.
Yeah. He was like straight graping the women.
Yeah.
I never got it because
Grape.
he was like he was looked at as the pretty boy, right? He was looked at as the heartthrob, the big swinging Wayne, but he was a weird bucktooth looking bitch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In the best of his days.
The Nature Boy.
And they even had like what was the other guy? It was one of the referees. They called him like Little Nature Boy. It was like part of their storyline, but it was a referee that looked like him. So they winded up putting him in the robes as well, and he'd come out as little naughty nature.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Unless that was WCW time.
It
I
was.
was more. I'd only really watch like the first hour of Nitro because it started an hour early before Raw. As soon as Raw turned on.
I remember when ICP was in WCW. And I never liked WCW, really didn't like WWE, but it was the best. I was always more of like an ECW guy. But you never knew when ICP were going to be on.
Yeah, I think they did. They were in WWE too, but I think they actually competed and did more in WCW than they did with WWE.
Yeah, no, they were out there.
They came down. There was like
it.
a few times. They were the group, the Oddities.
Oddities was WWE though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They were with that. And I think maybe once they got in the ring with that. I know in WCW that like Shaggy's competing for like titles and shit.
Intercontinental, whatever, like against Rey Mysterio Jr. or whoever. Yeah, so I would be switching back from WWF to see if, in between matches to see if ICP were coming on. And then I'd be there with like my VHS tape, and try to record, because there was no way to go back and watch it.
Yeah, no.
Or even back in the day, I was the guy who'd have the pay-per-view parties, like in junior high, where the pay-per-views were like 30 bones, and it would be like, okay, if everybody get, if we get 6 people, everyone only has to give this much. If we get 10 people, but there were a few times where it just winded up being me and like one other person, and like my mom had to fit the bill.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd make like little flyers and shit and hand them out in school, and I'd have like my little DX chain on, with like the little rope and.
Yeah, I wouldn't call them parties because nobody attended, but that, and I'd record them also. I had a box. I still have it in my grandma's storage, just VHS tapes, fucking SummerSlam '99.
Yeah, I'd record a lot of wrestling, but it was more like anytime ICP would be on TV. Like, I remember Woodstock '99. Like, I'm flipping through Much Music, which was like a Canadian music channel. MTV, whatever, who else was broadcasting it, to get like every little interview of them during that like 3-day period, So when they hit the wrestling, like I was all over it with my little VHS and my remote and yelling at my dad because I want to watch this and we only had one fucking TV in the house. But yeah, it's actually kind of cool going back, and I hadn't really thought about wrestling in 15 years, but like going back and seeing the stuff about those same matches, but now seeing it from like a different point of view. Like I now see past the gimmicks and I see like the dudes, who were like getting the hell beat out of their bodies, call it real, call it fake, but it's, still.
I don't call it fake. As I said, it's choreographed, predetermined.
It's fake.
But some of them fucking shot. Getting thrown off a cage through a fucking table, 16 feet in the air. Ain't no faking
that,
but you fuck yourself up.
Mixed different. Like he comes from the backyard wrestling world where shit actually was something
Texas
to pay
death
attention
matches.
to.
Yeah.
I need to go back and watch Strangle fucking Mania.
Yeah.
I still have the VHSs of those, like the originals.
JCW, yeah.
Well, before JCW, like the actual Strangle Mania, like volume 1 and 2, and like Shockumentary, and I have it in a box in my closet.
Garbage wrestling, funny commentary.
I still have the old disc, Backyard Wrestling. You ever play that on like PlayStation 2? Crappiest video game, but it had ICP in it.
Yeah.
But I didn't even have money.
ICP, Twisted, New Jack.
Rude Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't have money to buy it, so I just opened up a new account and rented it and then just never bought it back. So there we go. But yeah, I was thinking about you watching these documentaries, and I'm like, fuck, I bet you know everything about this.
You talk about people like fucking each other up in the ring, missing spots. Yeah, they'll throw blows in there for real. Fucking
sometimes.
It's called a receipt. That's what they give them. Somebody fucks up. Like I was watching, what was it, The Big Show? Yeah, I was watching him do an interview about a match with Stone Cold. I guess he went to pick up Stone Cold and he ended up grabbing his George, gave Stone Cold a massive wedging. Stone Cold didn't care for that. So he said fucking Stone Cold just started throwing blows, like rocking him fucking hard. And Big Show took enough, grabbed him by the face and walked him to the other corner of the ring. He's like, yeah, this one's Stone Cold. He just laughed. He's like, that's the way to get fired up, kid. And fucking, they've been best friends ever since.
Well, yeah, because Stone Cold might have been a built dude, but Stone Cold was like 5'5".
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Big Show's like 7'6", you know? But yeah, it brings back good memories. Not memories I want to relive. I have no interest in modern wrestling. But yeah,
it's not the same.
I think that's good stuff. Maybe we need to build a ring, get to throwing bows.
I do great on commentary.
Which means you're a fat fuck pussy. Got it. All right. I think that's a good spot to wrap it up with my sweet and cream soda.